Welcome to STARCARD Podcast. Here at STARCARD Podcast, we get a glimpse at the age of Aquarius ahead of us. We also examine the worlds of education and workplace ethics. My name is Breakaway Ray. I like talking about the breakaway civilizations and breaking away from the one we're in now. You've tuned in to a live tarot throw. Today is September 11th, 2025. Let's go right to the tarot cam and give you 3 cards right away. Thanks for joining me. I see we have friends in the chat already. Just a reminder, if you would like a tarot reading, you could put it in the chat, but also please use the top fans button to help me keep track of requests. Thank you. All right, so yeah, you see I got 2 decks going on, but let's go to this one for the 3 cards for today or whenever you're watching this podcast. Sometime in the future, maybe you're remote viewing from the past. Whenever you see these 3 cards, you were meant to see these 3 cards. The tarot world's trying to send you a message. I bet it's a fun, helpful message. That's usually the kind we get here at STARCARD Podcast. Good morning to the tarot world. Could you please give the audience 3 cards for today or whenever they're catching us? Okay, you're ready to go. Sweet. 3 cards. Good. Okay. Nice lighting too. Wait, I'm going to move that deck like that. All right. Card number 1. Ooh, it's the Page of Wands. And the Page of Wands reads, limitless potential. That's like the main one there, but also it includes inspiration, ideas, discovery, free spirit, exploration, excitement, and freedom. I don't know how you're feeling this morning. That's kind of how I'm feeling this morning. Ready to explore the tarot messages with you all. Here I go, the second card. All right, sweet. It's the Lover's card. We're going to have fun discussing the Lover's card as well. The Lovers, love, harmony, relationships, union, partnerships, sexuality, passion, values, alignment, deep love, a choice, the strength of 2 together. Or how about the strength of all of us together, me and you, ladies and gentlemen, tuning in. Thank you very much. We have limitless potential together. And the last card is the Magician. We're making magic together. I'm going to read it, but nevertheless, I feel like the message already sent. We have limitless potential if we work together to create magic together. Here's what the Magician says. Action, creation, manifestation, power, self-confidence, clarity, willpower, skill, and creativity. All right. Got to hand it to the tarot world. They sure know how to throw them. Thank you very much, tarot world. Thanks for those great 3 cards. Now, moving to the second deck. So before I went live, in order to save time, I started shuffling this deck because I know, like, sometimes when I ask the tarot world to throw a card just to tell us about today's session, they send us a good message. So while I was shuffling, I mean, it wasn't even like 7 seconds long, one card popped out. It was the 7 of Swords. And the 7 of Swords, by the way, was the one card that was on my mind about maybe 2 hours earlier this morning when I was on my hike thinking, I wonder what card's going to come out. It's probably going to be the 7 of Swords because what do we do at STARCARD Podcast? We're here for the War on Spiritual Poverty. And we're trying to tell people that they have a higher self and that there is an astral world and we have a lot more power than we really know. Now, if you're tuning into the STARCARD Podcast, you probably know all this stuff already, but it doesn't hurt to keep it on the table and keep repeating it so that the message doesn't get squelched, right? Because the people who want to squelch, they can play whack-a-mole. We're going to be one of the places where you could talk about this stuff. All right, so want to thank the tarot world for this one. They were ready to get going right away. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle each deck real quick, and then we'll come back up to the head cam. Here we go. Thank you very much. Yeah, we're going to give these guys a shuffle. And yesterday, I had a meeting with an experienced podcaster named Psychic Liz Cross, which might be why the number of subscribers to STARCARD Podcast doubled overnight. So welcome all the new subscribers. Thanks for giving me a shot and welcoming me into your lives right now. We try to do this in the morning. I have a routine where I wake up extraordinarily early, go on a hike, get in a groove, turn on the camera, and then talk about the stuff that's on my mind, and then throw free tarot readings for all of you in the audience. But in case you are new here, I want to point out to you in the description my reading list. Like if you were going to get ready for a class, this would be your summer reading list, although it is September now. And I'm not talking about reading at all. I'm saying these are some videos. If any of these are videos you've never seen before, they pique your interest, you're welcome. But the first, let me get my mouse. The first two links are actually to my 2 published books. I published 2 books this year. I published 1 book last week. The book from last week is called Let's Go Off Planet with Breakaway Ray. And both of these are available at Amazon. And meanwhile, to tell you more about the other links there, I have featured a podcast from the Imagination Podcast, where they interview Bob Marley's daughter, Zara. Okay. And then I also include one of my favorite videos, what I think is one of the great video documentaries of all time. It has it's the Typical Skeptic podcast with Rob Khalil. He has on the show Tony and Nathan and Dr. Courtney Brown. And I call it the landmark in the war on consciousness, because Tony Rodrigues, a secret space program experiencer, remembers what happened when he was in a secret space program that was not supposed to happen, but he had some help apparently from the Farsight Institute. So from my point of view, my perspective, that's people like us here in the 3D cruising around in our regular everyday worlds, using our collective conscious, our minds, the power of our mind, to like battle back to those people out there who are absconding with our consciousness, perhaps, and using it for other purposes that we know nothing about. Not too much that I can explore right here, but this is why I'm directing you to my description list. Okay. Next, more on hidden knowledge. There's a gentleman over at a place called Cultivate Elevate. Talks about old-fashioned technology in the old world that, again, we don't know about, that I've been kind of going on and on about for the last 2 months. You can start with the architecture, but let's not forget about the free energy and the free transportation systems, all those things that we gave up just so that we could work to make money to pay for the things that were free. One of Breakaway Ray's pet peeves. So anyway, the site Cultivate Elevate is one site where I get some information. And another one I like is called Old World Exploration. I've listed that. And then also, when you're talking about the old world, few people have expertise like Howdy McCoskey. And so the link I connected to you there is Howdy McCoskey talking about all the fires that took place in the 1800s. Totally mysterious, under-publicized. Moving on, the next link is to a site called Brush Junkie. At Brush Junkie, they do a good job documenting the science behind fires that are taking place right now. I feel like I'm talking too fast because these are like serious subjects. This is stuff that's going on. And well, anyway, I'm going to cruise through the description list. My next section, the next link is David Sarita, who tells us about, the other planets in our solar system. He's not the only reputable thinker and scientist to do so. And then there is something called the Green Bomb speech. I'm going to have to let you read what it says in the description. Moving on, breakaway civilizations. Breakaway Ray likes to talk about that stuff. Yeah. Why don't you check out Journey to Truth? They have a lot of secret space program experiencers there. And the link that I provided is to a gentleman named Mark Domizio. Also, there's a good website called St. Olga 69. I linked you to the collection where secret space program experiencer Penny Bradley tells her story. And then, wow, yeah, I can't forget about Dan Willis. I can't believe more people see his videos. He was on the Cosmic Brilliance podcast talking about all the technology that's out there that we don't know about. And anyway, I'm going to skip over it for now. Again, I'm just giving you a reading list, right? Because I got other stuff I want to talk about today. And by the looks of the chat, I got some people who want some readings. Also, there's a gentleman named Jason Rice, who's actually a soldier in the secret space program. Hey, if it all sounds like science fiction to you, that's great, because I clicked the entertainment button when I went live today. So this is all for entertainment purposes only. you know what? If you like science fiction, I got some stuff that sounds like science fiction. And if it's not your cup of tea, you know what? There's so many people out there putting on shows. So, and I wish them luck too. But I'm really glad you're here. And I hope that I entertain you. You know, that's what we're here for, the entertaining part. You know, lifting our spirits before we go on with our day. Moving on. Oh, another very famous secret space program experiencer would include John Whitberg and another gentleman named Arkim Ra. I've linked you to two of their programs that I enjoy, that I like. And then, you know, there's so many websites and so many experts on, you know, workplace ethics is what I like to call it. And then I listened to this one gentleman and he just spelled it out so simply in like less than 20 minutes. I don't even know why I need to put any other link or even discuss it. But I tell you what I would like to have people who are interested in discussing workplace ethics. Like, you know, you have a concern about what's going on in your workplace. You know, maybe there's something we can discuss, you know, because just sweeping it under the rug doesn't solve any problems. You know, the next person is going to step up and have the problem, right? So it's okay to be accountable to the same rules. We're all agreeing to the same rules. Nevertheless, so there's a video there about workplace ethics. I hope you enjoy it, if that's your cup of tea. And then to close off all my links, my Mind Over Matter section includes Florence Scovel Shinn. It's a commentary on her work, and it's called The Magic Path. It's a video that really helped change me when I needed to be changed. And it really helped me to reprogram a little bit about the way I look at the world, my perspective on things. So finally, ladies and gentlemen, you know, we have quite a lot of viewers and subscribers now. And if any of you are interested in doing Readers Theater, please contact me at the email address. So I'm looking together, put a little troupe together, hold a Zoom meeting and read some of the material that's published in Let's Go Off Planet with Breakaway Ray. And also, if you're interested in a tarot reading, I invite you to contact me there. I can either do a video and send it to you, or we can have a Zoom meeting, or you can have a phone call, you know, any way you like it. But for right now, everything's free, ladies and gentlemen. I'll let you know when I'm ready to accept money. Not ready yet. And it's not, fortunately for me, I saved for a rainy day, and, you know, money is not my concern right now. My concern right now is, can I throw cards and send helpful, fun messages to people? Can I send a message that's going to help people? You know, let me make good use of whatever time I got left on earth to help other people. Might as well. And you know what? If people don't need my help, God bless them. Let them go someplace where they can expand and grow at their rate and at their level and at their pace. All right, you've all been so kind. I got more notes. One moment, please. Ooh, good. I think I covered a lot of it. Hang on. Turn on this light. Ugh. I got to get incandescent up here. I know. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and read these sentences I wrote earlier because they're not bad, right? Okay, so we're keeping these ideas alive, these ideas about the higher self and contact with the spirit world, right? We're keeping these ideas alive and circulating in order to balance the programming that would have us forget and just be wage slave drones, right? And this is what I call the war on spiritual poverty. You know, if we don't know the riches of our spirit world, we're depriving ourselves of it. And then, as we've been talking the last couple of shows, especially here in September, we talked about writing as an unimpeachable tool, insulated from intelligences other than your own, for the most part. You know, writing as a way to hear what your higher self has to say. Remember, nobody wanted you to know about your higher self in the first place, but you can find out more about your higher self by writing. That is my opinion. That's been my argument, as it were, for the last couple of shows. So I want to tell you about a couple of writers, and then I also want to show you some books. And then I'm going to throw one last round of tarot for myself on these subjects, and then we'll get to your reading. So great. We're only 15 minutes into it. We're doing great, ladies and gentlemen. First up, let's talk about these books. Oh, yeah, let's go down to the tarot count. Nice. So you see I have Shakespeare's sonnets here. These are just the sonnets. These are poems of love. And I say because, you know, I really enjoy reading them. they're so wonderful. The way he, because with the sonnets, it's a very particular rhythm that you have to have for each line, and the rhymes have to work. And he actually is, he's expert. He's an expert, obviously, at rhyming. He makes it look so easy. And one of my favorite memories of one of my favorite memories of Shakespeare's sonnets is teaching it to elementary school children, especially, I think it's sonnet number 135. My mistress's eyes are nothing like the sun. And in order to help the children understand where he was coming from, I translated the title. Instead of my mistress's eyes are nothing like the sun, I would say, my girlfriend's not that great. Anyway, if you happen to read that one, I think it's number 135. Maybe you'll get a chuckle thinking about my fake title, right? Okay, next up. Okay, I haven't actually opened this book in a long, long time, but it's on an esteemed place on my bookshelf. It's The Vicar of Wakefield by Oliver Goldsmith. I'm not going to talk a lot about it right now, and it's not that long a book, but it's a remarkable book. That's all I want to say. If you've never heard of this book before, you would give yourself a treat if you're a book reader and somehow this escaped you. So anyway, thank you very much, Mr. Goldsmith. Your book was a lot of fun to read. All right. Speaking of fun books to read, this is a play. If you're in a theater, you know about this book. Okay. This is Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead. So if you know the play Hamlet by Shakespeare, two of the characters are Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. And in this play, we see what happens during the span of Hamlet's story during the play Hamlet. But we see only what's going on with Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. It's a very clever perspective, and it's written by Tom Stoppard. In any case, if you are interested, here's an interesting book to take a look at. I put it up there with Pirandello's Characters in Search of an Author. That's another play that's kind of interesting, how it moves perspectives around. In that play by Pirandello, you got a bunch of characters, and they're on stage, but I guess they don't have a playwright, and so they don't know what the story is. I forget how it goes, but I remember reading it when I was in college. That's when I got this book. Okay, next up. No. All right. So, we got to hand it to the people in the 20th century and the 21st century. They're all very creative writers, okay? But I'm showing you, between Oliver Goldsmith and Shakespeare and now Lawrence Stern, okay, the life and opinions of Tristram Shandy, these are all avant-garde, cutting-edge writers. This book it's rather thick, but it's also rather novel in the way it writes and who it writes about, and it's actually quite funny. Nevertheless, if you're interested in autobiographies, this is a fun one to take a peek at. Although I really feel like books this size are maybe not for people in the 21st century so much, when we're so drawn in by our screens, aren't we? All right. Nevertheless, I'm going to keep talking about books. Let's not forget about books. Right. Okay. So first of all, I'm showing you a book called Leaves of Grass by Walt Whitman. This man lived in the United States. I understand that he was like a teacher or some kind of schoolmaster at just age 15, was quite a brilliant person. But anyway, this is actually the original. I wonder if it looks better without the light. I feel like it does. So this is actually how the book came out originally in Walt Whitman's day. It was this big and had this many pages exactly. And it was pretty much every page, which is a PDF. Okay, it looked exactly like this is the original version. But I want to tell you about Mr. Whitman, and there's a gentleman named Henry David Thoreau. Now, I'm operating from memory, but I believe both gentlemen are called transcendentalists. And they would write about the ascension of your awareness to your higher self. I don't know how else to explain it. So Henry David Thoreau, he lived in Massachusetts, and he lived by a lake called Walden Pond. Yeah, it wasn't a lake, it was a pond. Walden Pond. I think the name of his book was On Walden Pond, or maybe I'm thinking of the Henry Fonda movie. In any case, Mr. Thoreau had, when people think of him and when he presents himself, he's an isolated individual living in a cabin in the woods. He has no one to befriend him except the animals, and the only sounds he hears are those of the animals and the winds. And he's contemplating on, what's in the pond. And meanwhile, for real, in the real world, you know what? He lived not too far from a neighbor. I think it might have been his landlord. And whenever it was mealtime, Henry David Thoreau was over at the house making sure he didn't miss a meal. I think that's a kind of a funny story, but you do have to balance both worlds, pursue that image of yourself as the isolated, heroic George Orwell style writer off on your own, thinking high thoughts. That's great. You got to get in that frame of mind. All right. But don't forget to take care of your body. Okay. But now I got Walt Whitman over here, and, he's writing observations. It feels like it's right out of his notebook. And I selected one to read to you. Before I read that one to you, I wanted to share my values with you really quickly before I read this particular selection. So these are just my values. May seem like pie in the sky. I'm allowed to share them because I'm paying for the internet. I'm the guy dressing up with the microphone and holding the meeting. So the first thing I want to say is, I worked in a public education system. I feel like every child needs a free education, free and appropriate education. I think he came in during President Monroe, and congratulations to him. It was a great idea. What it looks like today and how we need to fix it, that's another story. But let's say you got a kid who's graduating high school, and they should all graduate or go to trade school or have something to build upon from there, right? But let's say they're ready to go to college. Okay, why do they need to pay to go to college? We want these people to succeed so they can be fruitful adults and great leaders in our country. Okay? But instead, if they choose that path to, broaden their horizons, get a credential, become a responsible citizen, they're going to have to become an indentured servant and go into debt for most of their adult life. And it's getting worse since the days I was in school. So I object to that. And I think that, again, education, again, should be free for everybody. If they're ready, if they're eligible, we want them in college. We want the best. Okay, so there's a lot of different areas you could go when you say, why is it like that? Let's not talk about the why right now. But I also want to talk about what I know. I'm not saying I know it correctly, but the information I have in the country of Venezuela, if there's a student who's eligible to go to medical school, that person gets to go to medical school for free. Now, when they're all done with medical school, they have to serve the state, as it were. They have to serve the country, right? They have to, work. And of course, they're going to give them money to survive and live and everything, all right? But they're not going to open up their private practice yet. They're going to go into the service, serving the community with their new medical skills. And then I understand, like when a country like Cuba needed help once, Venezuela's all, we'll send you our doctors. We got teams of doctors. So that's something that they can export. They're exporting their medical expertise. They're talented individuals who practice medicine. So again, I'm all for making it free. I mean, it was all free in the first place, and I got many years ahead of me to elaborate on that point. But anyway, I'm not into this. If you choose to try to advance, don't forget you're still a slave. A wage slave, as it were. All right. Take it easy, Breakaway Ray. Why don't you read that nice thing in the book? Okay, let's go to the tarot cam and check it out. So this one is about how Walt Whitman gave shelter to a runaway slave. He gave shelter to a runaway slave. So obviously this would be before the year 1865 in the United States. And I do need to tell you, there's a vocabulary word, and the vocabulary word is firelock. Firelock. And I'm pretty sure that refers to the type of rifle he had in those days, a firelock. Okay, so this is about the runaway slave. I'm going to get my glass out. Hang on one second. Okay. The runaway slave came to my house and stopped outside. I heard his motions crackling the twigs of the woodpile. Through the swung half door of the kitchen, I saw him limpsy and weak, and went where he sat on a log and let him in and assured him, and brought water and filled a tub for his sweated body and bruised feet, and gave him a room that entered from my own, and gave him some coarse, clean clothes. And remember perfectly well his revolving eyes and his awkwardness, and remember putting plasters on the galls of his neck and ankles. He stayed with me a week before he was recuperated and passed north. I had him sit next to me at the table. My firelock leaned in the corner. Sounds like a reflection from a day in his life, but he demonstrates an understanding of where he's coming from, right? His position on the whole thing, his perspective on everything, because he wrote it all out. And now we do because we read it. All right. So I do have a setup here. Hang on one second. I've been extolling the virtues of writing, keeping a journal and such, as a way to get in touch with your higher self and take a different perspective on things. So I'm going to ask the tarot world right now to offer an opinion on writing as a way of getting in touch with your higher self, exercise and hobbies as a way of getting in touch with your higher self, or channel surfing and webbing as a way of getting in touch with your higher self. You already know how I feel about this. I'm pretty sure people get in the zone when they're exercising and grooving with their hobbies. There's a different kind of grooving going on when you're on the internet or being a couch potato. Oh, I got to admit, I like being a couch potato. Sometimes I got to take a break. All right, but let's find out what the tarot world has to say about these kinds of activities as far as getting in touch with our higher self. All right, back to the tarot can. I can't wait to see what's going on in the chat. This is going to be fun. Okay, I'm going to move my artwork from Canaletto. There we go. All right. Well, thank you very much, Tarot World. I bet you can't wait to talk about this now. Would you like to offer an opinion on exploring your higher self with these kinds of activities, the writing, the exercise, or the hobbies, or the channel surfing and the webbing? We invite you to give us your take on those activities, in particular, how it relates to getting in touch with our higher self, getting to know ourselves better, getting to know all parts of ourselves better. I know you have fun, helpful ways to illustrate how you feel about this. Thank you very much, Tarot World. Yeah, okay. I'm hearing too much shuffling today. All right. These cards are for writing, exercise and hobbies, channel surfing and webbing. How does the Tarot World feel about that? What message would you like to send us, Tarot World? Fun, helpful messages about how we spend our time. Fun, helpful messages about these activities, please. Yeah, okay. And then we'll give you 2 more cards to close the subject. Thank you very much. All right. I'm going to take those 2 cards and set them aside a little bit there. Here we go. All right. This is for entertainment purposes only. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you're having fun. And let's see what the Tarot World says about writing as a means to get in touch with your higher self. First up, people might be surprised if they try it. The world might come down around them. They might discover something new about themselves. This is the Tower card. The Tower card says sudden change, sudden insight as well, awakening. Again, sometimes I say it sounds like an echo chamber of what I'm saying. But anyway, there you go, leading off with the Tower card. Bam. Okay. And then here comes the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands says energy, passionate, inspired action, adventure, fearless, impulsiveness. Well, that is true. When you're writing, like especially if you say, I'm going to write an adventure story. Well, what kind of adventure story are you going to write? One that you think is fun and exciting. Watch your imagination race. Make your own fireworks. Well, and then, it's my friend, the Nine of Swords. Very dramatic first row here. The Nine of Swords says anxiety, worry, fear, depression, nightmares, insomnia, hopelessness, trauma, and despair. Well, I would say, writing as a way of getting in touch with your higher self is a way to address this. it's a way to address this. And just, skipping ahead a little bit, one way I address insomnia is by exercise. If I plan exercise, my insomnia is not so bad. But anyway, I'm just saying I have odd sleep habits, everybody. So anyway, as far as writing goes, now, is there something on the other side? I love turning this card upside down. Ooh, whoa, okay. That's a good thing I turned it upside down, everybody. The Nine of Swords reverse says inner turmoil, deep-seated fears, secrets, releasing worry, hope, and reaching out. If you start writing and do so energetically, you're going to learn a lot more. You're going to have a lot of sudden revelations and there's a lot of sudden insights. Okay, so I'm good with that. Well done, Tarot World. How about exercise and hobbies? I'm going to say similar intensity, similar message. Ooh, oh my goodness, it's the Devil card. Well, he does talk about the shadow self. So anyway, before we get too into this guy, let's find out what's following here. All right, the Six of Wands, which is public recognition. And okay, great. Oh, okay. The shadow self. If you're doing exercise and hobbies, you're addressing your shadow self. You're taking that dark side of you and you're channeling it towards something positive. There's like give and take involved. Who hasn't tried an athletic feat and built on that determination with something in the past that was maybe like a dark episode? Oh, I'm going to conquer. I'm going to beat that. Last time I didn't do it, but I got it this time. That kind of determination. All right, great. Okay, so now I'm expecting less of a message like, determination and working with your shadow self or learning more about what's on the inside and, sudden revelations about what you really think. Down here, I'm expecting to see less awareness, less thoughtfulness. But what do I know? We do get a lot of information, right? A lot of information from technology. Here we go. The Empress. I think everyone's pretty comfortable with channel surfing and webbing. Look, she's chilling on the couch. Where's the popcorn, lady? It's the Empress. Oh, yeah, for sure. I agree with this. When you're sitting on the couch and you got free time, it is a dream come true with the 10 of Cups. So relaxing. You know what? When you're that relaxed, of course you're going to get in touch with your higher self. I'm down with this. I'm going to talk myself into this. I'm going to make a special episode today of channel surfing for myself, if this is going to help me reach my higher self here. Oh, yeah, and the Hangman gives you a different perspective. I like all that. Okay, well, you know what? In lots of ways, if you compare all the messages, the idea is if you're thinking, how does this get me to my higher self? How does this apply to my higher self? What will my higher self have to say about this? I guess if you ask that like 50 times a day, no matter what you're doing, you're going to get in touch with your higher self. Okay, Tarot World, well done. I think we got your message. Would you like to wrap up your discussion today? The Five of Wands indicates that there's a conflict. And the Knight of the Knight of Swords says, ambitious, action-oriented, driven to succeed, fast thinking, defending beliefs. Let's take a look at this Five of Wands more carefully here. There might be rivalry, conflict, and tension, but I think the message is just go for it anyway. Find your higher self this way, or that way, or that way. Or the way Breakaway Ray just said, by asking what your higher self thinks of it 50 times a day. Okay, sounds like another echo. I'm glad I'm in sync with the Tarot World. I hope I'm doing a good job. And now I'm ready to give these cards a resort and finally look into the chat. So happy to see people in the audience joining me at this early hour here in California. Thank you very much. Hope I'm helping you get off to a good day today. Okay, so camera up. And get my mouse and check out the chat. I'm just going to browse really quickly, but I do want to write down the names of the people who want readings. So, hey, Tiffany, good morning. Thanks for joining us. I got you down for number one. I could have sworn I saw a Puck Elf today. Okay, so I see someone named Coco. Hello, Coco. Thanks for joining. Coco, I see you at number 3. And I'm going to scroll around now, look for number 2. Hello, it's me again. Just spotted your name. Hello, Sally Forth. Good morning. Thanks for joining me. Yay, Jason H is here. That's great. Wait, number 2. Oh, Julia Anchorhaven. All right, great. Hi, Julia. All right. So I only see the 3, but I'm going to scroll down to the bottom, and I'm going to pick up from there. Don't be shy, ladies and gentlemen. We still have a lot of time, so I'm happy to do your readings. But I'm going to start off with Tiffany. And when it's your turn, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to like drop, a focus in the chat, I'll eyeball the bottom of the chat and see if there's a message. But otherwise, I'm pretty sure the tarot world knows what you want to talk about. So here I go. Okay, well, Sally Forth says that maybe Tiffany left, and that's okay. She's going to tune in after class and see what's going on. So this is for you, Tiffany. We'll give you a quick reading. Let me get you downstairs here. All right. Hello, Tarot World. Tiffany had to get to class, most likely. I know you want to share a message with her, please. Tiffany from, I believe it's pronounced San Diego. All right, these cards are for Tiffany. Helpful, fun message for Tiffany, please. All right, she's going to be so excited when she gets out of class and she knows she's got a reading waiting for her. That's going to be cool. These cards are for Tiffany. These are for Tiffany. Whoa. Okay, so one dropped, and it's still face down. All right, I'll pick it up. Okay. These cards are still for Tiffany. Thanks for the fun, helpful message for Tiffany. Fun, helpful message for Tiffany, please. Okay. I say it's for entertainment purposes only. Well, I know Tiffany's having a good time. All right. Here we go, Tiffany. Let's have some fun with the Ace of Cups. Woohoo. Another party, another celebration. Love, compassion, creativity, new feelings, spirituality, intuition, new baby, proposal, marriage. Next up, the 5 of Wands guys are back, having some kind of conflict and some kind of fight. Was there a wedding and a fight broke out at the bar or something like that? I'm kidding. That's a joke. Okay. All right. And then the Emperor is in control. Wow. It's almost like there was a gold rush. People see that there's a wonderful party going on, and it's like Black Friday and everyone's fighting over it, but we're going to get it all under control here with the Emperor. I'm going to read you what it says on the Emperor card. Respect, leadership, stability, structure, rules and power, authority, father figure, protection, control, discipline, focus, practicality. Yeah, everybody settle down. Let's get under control. All right, next up, the 9 of Wands. For me, it's a card of wisdom. It's someone who's been through, they've earned their place. They've paid their dues. Let's read what it says about the 9 of Wands. Courage, persistence, test of faith, resilience, boundaries, last stand, gearing up for the worst, pessimism, weary. Hey, don't get too down. We got a long way to go, and you got a lot of good things going for you. Right. So charge on, says the Knight of Wands. Be action-oriented and driven. And then the King of Swords says, that's the truth. So, we have like really strong paternal energies right here, don't we? So, again, don't get down. Keep going. You got a long way to go. That's the truth. But let's read to you what it says about the King of Swords. Head over heart, disciplined, truthful, honest, mental clarity, authority. You know how you're balancing all those things that you're doing, Tiffany? That's what's going to get you through everything. That's what you're smart about. And that's the path that you should follow. You make good, careful plans so that you're using your time wisely. So, well done. I hope I'm right. I'm having fun making the story up. And let's go see the last row here. Yeah, keep on going. Charge! It's a Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is about being ambitious and driven to succeed. Yeah. And then the Magician shows up. We all know you make your own magic. God helps those who help themselves. The Magician, action, creation, manifestation, power, self-confidence, clarity, willpower, skill, and creativity. You have willpower. Does someone you know call it stubbornness? Because I disagree. Just because you have willpower doesn't mean you're stubborn. Okay. And then I just kind of made that up. Well, okay. And that's the end of the message. The world says everything is complete. Go forward and make your magic. You're going to do a good job. It's going to check all the boxes. The world card says completion, accomplishment, wholeness, attainment, fulfillment, travel, celebration of life, and arriving. Tiffany, thanks as always for inviting me to read. Good luck to you. Keep up the good work. Thanks for your participation. Next up, it's Julia Anchorhaven. All right, Julia. Good to see you again, Julia. Julia's across the pond in Great Britain. Julia's a big supporter of mine. I just want to say how much I appreciate it. I did, in case you are not aware, ladies and gentlemen, maybe you're new, I was on Julia Anchorhaven's program. If you use the word Anchorhaven, you should be able to find her website on YouTube. And she has approximately 200 videos with all kinds of guests who are all so fascinating. And I'm honored to have been included in that menagerie. So I invite you to go check out her channel. We're going to throw 9 cards for Julia right now. These cards are for Julia. These are for Julia. Thanks a lot, Julia. Here comes your message. These are for Julia, please. Julia Anchorhaven. These are for Julia. All right. Okay. All right, here we go. First up, the Queen of Swords. I'm sure this represents you being a feminine energy, clear on your view and in your mind. You know what the truth is. And also, she's the one who always says you were right. I mean, the Queen of Swords to me always says you were right. But let's read what it says on the Queen of Swords real quick. Unbiased judgment. Yeah. Independent, clear boundaries, direct communication, clear-minded, and perceptive. It sounds like the way I described her as the host of her podcast. Look who keeps showing up, everybody. It's the Knight of Wands, pursuing things energetically. Wow. What a great morning. Passionate, inspired action, fearless. It's an adventure. How wonderful. And then the Four of Pentacles says, hold on to what's valuable. Maybe save for a rainy day. Maybe budget if you can. But let's see if any of these other words help with that message. Saving money, conservation, control, and frugality. Yeah, truth is on your side. Maybe it's just a message of pace yourself. You're obviously very industrious. We got a lot of time ahead of us. Pace yourself. Perhaps that's a helpful message, a helpful, fun message. That would be a fun and helpful message. Take it easy, relax, have some fun. All right, next up. Wonderful. Another image, perhaps, of Julia. It's the Queen of Pentacles. Nurturing, practical, providing financially, a working parent. I'm sure it feels like you have more than one job. I don't know how many jobs you have, but you're making it work. Here's another message to take it easy. It's the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords also says rest, relaxation, meditation, contemplation, recuperation, retreat, renewal, and solitude. By the way, I hope your foot is feeling better. I hope you're recuperating from that. And then finally, the Wheel of Fortune card talks about luck. And it also talks about good luck, karma, life cycles, destiny, turning points, change, inevitable fate, ups and downs, unpredictable. Well, maybe if you had to sit things out because you had to recuperate from your foot injury, okay, energies are going to turn around now. Get ready for things to get more exciting as you gain more mobility. Next up, yeah, you'll be riding into town on that guy's horse. It's the Six of Wands, the card of public recognition and victory and progress and self-confidence. All right, then the Fool indicates it's a new beginning too. I bet you're going to feel like a new woman when you get to strut around town like the Fool is in that position. And yay, check that out. And the Hangman says, have a different point of view. Very interesting set of cards there. Because it will be a beginning. You just got to see where the new beginning is. Always look for something new, fresh and exciting. Well, I think that's what you do. You're constantly on the lookout. I think this actually describes what you do every day. All right, well, Julia, I hope some of these messages were helpful. I hope they were all entertaining. I'm seeing like a lot of hearts like bubbling up, like soda bubbles. So I'm grateful that these messages were fun and entertaining. Thanks a lot. And next up, it's Coco. All right. Nice to meet you, Coco. Thanks for coming to the show. These cards are for Coco. Oh, Candace. Okay, Coco, right on. Thank you very much. Yeah, I want to thank all of Psychic Liz Cross's friends for visiting the podcast today, STARCARD podcast. Appreciate it so much. But here you go, Coco. Going to throw some cards for you. I'm sure the tarot world has a helpful message for you. Could you please send us a fun, helpful message? All right, the fun, helpful message, I said, and the 18, the moon card just popped out. Anyway, I'm going to set that aside for now and go ahead and draw more cards here. Let's get some more cards for Coco. I think the cards are ready to come out. These cards are for Coco. A helpful, fun message for Coco, please. Helpful and fun. A helpful, fun message from the spirit world. A helpful, fun message from the spirit world. Yeah, for Coco, please. All right, let's see what happens. I mean, it's going to be entertaining. It's going to be inspirational. And if it ends up being accurate, that's gravy. So that's awesome. Let's have fun. Life is short. Let's enjoy ourselves while we're here. Thank you, Coco, for inviting me to read. First up, strength indicates strength. All right, I'll read the rest. Hang on. Strength, courage, passion, subtle power, persuasion, influence, inner strength, focus, and compassion. I hear a lot with that inner strength part there. Ooh, the Four of Wands, homecoming. Is there some kind of big party this weekend? You got some family coming into town? Cool. And then the Page of Pentacles indicates a new opportunity. It says manifestation, financial opportunity, skill development, ambition, desire, and diligence. This is the homecoming card, and this is a card about celebration and joy and marriage. And what the cards suggest to me is that seems like a very prominent issue, home and family. And that's where all your opportunities revolve around that. The dynamic of your life revolves around your family. This sounds like a very safe statement to make for most people. Anyway, let's see if the second sentence has any fun and helpful messages for Coco. The Knight of Wands shows up again. You guys all show me. You saw me shuffle. I pull out the cards randomly. Okay, so the Knight of Wands says energy, passionate, inspired action, adventure, fearless, impulsiveness. I did shuffle. The Magician. Action, creation, manifestation, power, self-confidence, clarity, willpower, skill. Making magic. Be enthusiastic about the magic that you make because it's good magic. And this guy shows up again, the Six of Pentacles. It's giving and taking. If you're hosting a party, you're giving the party and your guests are bringing the entertainment. They're charming personalities. and you're all mixing the magic together, and there's love in the air. I'm making this about a family. It's not even like a big holiday coming up or anything. Okay, then the hermit, well, after the party, someone has to clean up the house. They're usually by themselves when the guests leave. I've been there myself. It's the hermit card. So the hermit card is about soul searching, introspection, contemplation, wisdom, truth seeking, being alone, independence, inner guidance, meditation, and consciousness, which goes along with the moon card. And then the Page of Swords has new ideas. All right, so I'm going to turn this into an allegory of breakaway rays. You know, I get ready to throw a big party. It's really awesome to get all these people together. We hardly get to see each other all year. Okay, we're all together creating magic, all together having a good time. They all go home. Then I got to clean the house. I wonder if it was all worth it. I'm getting some new ideas. I'm reflecting on, the spirit world because I got no one else to talk to. And then I'm left barking at the moon, wondering more about my subconscious. But let's not forget all the fun we had when the family came and all that magic we made. It was so great. So yeah, we spent some time by ourselves, and we all should. We all should get to acquaint ourselves with our inner selves. But that is really cool when we get a chance to spend time together and make magic together and make happy memories together. I hope that was a fun, helpful message, Coco. Thanks for letting me share a story with you. All right. Coco, I just read your message about your grandpop. That's hilarious. Yeah, okay, very good, Coco. I appreciate the feedback, and you're very welcome. I'm equally as pleased to share the reading with you. I want to double check the chat one more time, see if there's anyone else who wants a reading, because I've only seen 3 so far. But the mojo's not gone, so let me check to see if there's anyone else. Yeah, you're welcome, Julia. I saw your message. I'm going to read the chat after the show, everybody. I'm just looking now to see if there's any messages. Somebody wants a reading. I don't see. Hello, Elisa R. Nice to see you. Oh, Arizona Raven wants 1 card. Okay, we got it. Oh, and Elisa R. Okay, so let me get that down. So let's take care of Arizona Raven. I don't get it. Does that top fans button only go up to 3? Is that the deal? Okay, just checking. Arizona Raven, and then Lisa R. Good morning. Thanks for coming to the show. Thanks, Johnny Anderson. I feel like your name looks familiar. Anyway, I'm glad you made it, Johnny Anderson. Thanks for coming. I'm just checking out some names. Oh, hello, Penny G. Oh, okay. I just spotted you. Hello, Penny G. I'm going to throw you down for a reading also, okay? Yes. Anchor Haven Mystical Wellness. Julia Anchor Haven's channel. Sally Forth, looks like you're asking for a reading. Yeah, okay, sure. I can't tell Johnny Anderson if you're asking for a reading. You can let me know, but let me get Sally Forth down. And then and Penny G. Okay, so Johnny wants one. And Penny G wants one also. Is that correct? Okay, so I just lined up 6 more. So now I'm going to go back down and start reading these off. That's right. Okay, Penny G, thank you. Okay, so I got you on my list. I got Arizona Raven. I think she asked for 1. Elisa R, Penny G, Sally Forth. Oh, I got Penny G 2 times. Got it. I already had you down, Penny G. And then Johnny Anderson. Okay, great. So let me go down, but I got to take a little tea break, a little green tea break. 1 second, please. Okay, so I think I see Johanna in the audience, and I think Johanna's asking for a reading also. I'll add you to my list, Johanna. All right, but first up, it's Arizona Raven, who's asked for one card. Thank you very much, Coco. I appreciate it. Feelings mutual. Okay, but we're going to throw a card for Arizona Raven. Yeah, the tarot world is ready to go. They are firing all kinds of messages and pulling out a lot of the same cards over and over again. Part of the magic of what goes on here at STARCARD Podcast. All right, but how about one card for Arizona Raven, please? You got a fun, entertaining one-card message for Arizona Raven, please. This is for Arizona Raven. Here we go. Well, Arizona Raven, I hope this helps. Yeah, I don't know if the imagery helps. It's the Death card. And the Death card reads, endings, beginnings, change, transformation, transition, metamorphosis, end of a cycle. Yeah, you probably see that all the time on the ranch. And, as I'm looking at this card even more carefully, it kind of looks like the characters on the card are examining the horse. And that might be something you're familiar with. Anyway, thank you very much, Arizona Raven. I'm so glad you are here. That's right, Johanna. I got you on the list. Great. Oh, Johnny Anderson's in Sweden. How about that? Hey, Arizona Raven. I presume you're in Arizona. Anyway, I want to say thank you again for showing up. I appreciate having you here. Of course, every time I see your name, Arizona Raven, I think of Rob over at Typical Skeptic Podcast. I know you two have been friends for a long time. So next up, it's Elisa R. All right. If Elisa R has a special message she wants to drop in there, that's great. Otherwise, the tarot world knows what you need to hear. We're going to get a fun, happy, entertaining, helpful message for Elisa R. These cards are for Elisa R. Fun, entertaining, helpful message for Elisa R, please. This is for Elisa R. Okay. Elisa R. Fun, helpful message for Elisa R, please. Thank you for the fun, helpful message for Elisa R. Okay. This is for Elisa R. Here we go. Hey, I like how it's almost sunlight here in California. Now I don't need to use this other light next door here. What have I got going? All right, Elisa R. The Fool. It's the beginning of the whole tarot deck. It's the beginning of the major arcana. So much at the beginning, it doesn't have a number. It's the 0. Then the Knight of Pentacles indicates hard work. And then the Queen of Wands says zest for life. I don't know if you love your job, but maybe there's some kind of new mission, new project you're working on that you should or you do relish and enjoy. Like if you just got a new job and you're digging it, or maybe you're a teacher and you got a new class and you're all excited because it's still September. That's awesome. All right, next up. The World indicates completion, achievement, attainment, celebration of life. Oh, no. I mean, yay. Sorry about that. So it's the Death card. I know the Death card just showed up a moment ago, but the Death card indicates change and transformation. To use the schoolroom setting again, their summer ended, it's over, and now they are in the next grade. Then the Four of Cups says, I'll read what it says on the card. The Four of Cups says meditation, contemplation, apathy, reevaluation, disconnected. Yeah, it feels like I should keep on going with the summer and school time analogy here. Summer's over. We're brand new students in a new school year. You know what? It's not as much fun as we thought it was going to be. We've already had a few days with the teacher. Now it just feels like we're back to the regular routine. But you know what? It's the real deal. You got all 4 cups. It's a gift from God being able to go to school. In some places around the world, you can't even do that, right? So let's not take anything for granted. Let's be grateful for all the little things in our life. Even routine. Routine is a good thing to be grateful for. So these are just messages that are coming to my mind, Elisa R. If any of these, register with you, that's great. Otherwise, I'm just trying to be helpful, informative, and inspirational. Next up, it's the 9 of Wands guy. He's been here before. He's got some wounds, but he also knows, when to spend his energy wisely. He's not going to get caught up in any battles he doesn't have to. Yeah, he's going to pick and choose his battles. And he's going to keep his nose to the grindstone and work hard at it, says the 8 of Pentacles. And then, yay, it's the Star card. And then, that's the light at the end of the tunnel. Again, even from your start, you might be, in a rough position. You may not have all the tools you need or all the advantages you thought you wanted in order to do this. But if you work hard enough, you can be the star and you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And you are tuned into STARCARD podcast, where we get a glimpse at the age of Aquarius ahead of us. Let's read what it says on the Star card. Hope, calm, faith, purpose, renewal, spirituality, fortune, good omen, rejuvenation. And let's not forget to spend most of our time having a zest for life like the Queen of Wands. That's going to give us the energy to get to the Star card in the end. Hey, Elisa R., I sure appreciate you inviting me to read. Thank you very much. I hope that was entertaining. Yeah, I like seeing the Star card. Next up, it's Penny G. All right, Penny G, thanks for joining the show. Thanks for inviting me to read. I invite the tarot world to share fun, helpful messages. For Penny G, please. Fun, helpful messages for Penny G. These cards are for Penny G. Please show us what Penny G needs to see. Please tell us what Penny G needs to hear. These are for Penny G. These cards are for Penny G. Fun, helpful message for Penny G, please. Yeah, okay. These cards are for Penny G. All right. So I'm having flashbacks to the readings we've already had today. And I feel like this card is going to be like the death card. I hope I'm wrong. Not that it matters. It'd be great if it is. It indicates something new is happening, right? But anyway, let's check out these cool cards for Penny G. Nice layout right there. First up, oh yay, it's the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups reads love, compassion, creativity, new feelings, spirituality, intuition, new baby, proposal, marriage. Maybe even some new enlightenment in your life. The death card, as I suspected. All right. So I'm going to allow myself to get spooked about that later. Anyway, maybe there's some kind of inner transformation going on, some kind of inner birth, and you're ending, you're maturing in one way and gaining and growing in another. Next up, the 5 of Swords indicates conflict and winner-take-all kinds of attitudes. The 6 of Cups indicates nostalgia and happy memories. And the Wheel of Fortune indicates luck and destiny and fate, endings and beginnings. Then you have the Knight of Cups, who is the knight in shining armor. And then finally, the Queen of Swords, who's the lady who says, you were right. So in the hard times when there's conflict, try to look for the silver lining and remember the good times. And then when the wheel of luck turns your way, that positive attitude is going to turn you into a knight in shining armor, or have a knight in shining armor come and rescue you. That's the truth, says Breakaway Ray. And to close, the Knight of Swords proceed forward energetically, ambitious, action-oriented, driven to succeed, fast-thinking, defending beliefs. And then the Seven of Pentacles indicates working hard for the long term. The Seven of Pentacles reads, long-term view, hard work, perseverance, diligence, sustainable results, and investment. He's working hard at growing whatever he's growing. And look, that plant is money. So he's doing a good job. It does take work. You have to be driven to succeed. Well, I hope those were fun, helpful messages, Penny G. Thank you very much for inviting me to read. Next up, it's Sally Forth. I'm going to go Sally Forth, Johnny in Sweden, and then Johanna, and then I think I'm going to have to call it quits. So these are my last three. All right, Sally Forth, you are up. Penny G, you are so welcome. Thank you for the positive feedback, or any feedback, ladies and gentlemen. It helps me know, I'm in the right ballpark when I'm telling the stories with the tarot cards. So thank you very much. These are for Sally Forth out in Pennsylvania. All right. Thanks, Sally Forth, for joining me. Really appreciate it. I mean, if you're one of those people like Sally Forth who've seen more than 3 of my shows, I'm just so grateful to have you around. I really appreciate your support. It's great. STARCARD podcast is as much about you as it is about me, right? These are for Sally Forth. Fun, helpful messages for Sally Forth, please. Thank you, Tarot World. We're all having a good time. These cards are for Sally Forth. Sally Forth. These cards are for Sally Forth. A fun, helpful message for Sally Forth, please. These cards are for Sally Forth. All right, Sally Forth. The Justice card shows up. Cause and effect, balance, justice, law, and society. Next, 4 of Pentacles. We're going to turn this into something positive and inspirational. The 4 of Pentacles. Hold on to your coin purse. Oh, yay. And then the 10 of Pentacles. Wealth, abundance. Let's read what the 10 of Pentacles says. Wealth, financial security, family, long-term success, contribution. Looks like justice is in your favor. As far as the cash register goes, you should save for a rainy day, and then you'll be amazed to find out how fortunate you are that you have saved. Or, you got something coming your way because you called for justice, for example. That's what the card suggests to me and my rose-colored glasses, Sally Forth. It's okay if you got like a different angle on it, but I remind everybody, I'm just some guy on the internet throwing cards. Nobody knows who I am. And, make your own decision. But if you're watching STARCARD podcast, you have a good inner guidance, so you know what's going on. Hey, thanks for all the hearts there. Whoever's sending those, I appreciate it. Next up, it's the 6 of Wands, public recognition. Everyone's going to know the King of Cups. The King of Cups, emotionally balanced, compassion, diplomatic, control, balance, supportive leader, tolerance, and empathic. I happen to like the sound of diplomatic. Everyone's going to recognize people who honor the system and are doing their best to float everyone's boat at the same time. I know there's a lot of cheapskates who want to take shortcuts, but again, from my point of view, someone who's following the rules and doing what they're supposed to be doing, they should be recognized for that. And yeah, I think the spirit world agrees with me on that. The Lovers card showed up. That's the power of 2 people together. And it talks about union. It talks about deep understanding. So maybe this is a deep understanding Sally Forth already has, and she already knows, maybe these cards are already sending a message to her. That's what it seems like to me a guy who's been studying tarot cards since March. Next up, the last row, the world. Incredible the way these cards keep showing up, right? The world, completion. It also says accomplishment, wholeness, attainment, fulfillment, travel, celebration of life, and arriving. The plane just landed. Vacation's ready to begin. Yeah, the Six of Cups says there's going to be happy memories. Come on, tarot world. Woohoo. And the Page of Pentacles says, financial opportunity, skill development, ambition, desire, and diligence. Yeah, wherever you're going, wherever you're flying to, Sally Forth, there's a good opportunity for you there. Hey, thanks again for inviting me to read, Sally Forth. I hope that was fun and entertaining. Again, I appreciate your subscription so much. Thanks to all the subscribers who make me want to come out and throw cards and tell stories. Okay, next up, it's Johnny Anderson. Hey, Johnny Anderson, if you have... thank you very much, Johnny Anderson. And if you have a specific message... Oh, you're welcome, Sally Ford. Thank you. You're welcome, Arizona. Yeah, cool. It's got a nice horse on it. All right. Thank you very much, Jill McCracken. I appreciate it. All right, but anyway, we'll take care of Johnny. Here we go. These cards are for Johnny Anderson. Wow. Thanks for staying up late to watch me, Johnny Anderson. Great to have you here. These cards for Johnny Anderson. A fun, helpful message for Johnny Anderson, please. A fun, helpful message from Johnny Anderson. Johnny Anderson. Whoa. A fun, helpful message for Johnny. I love Peter Tosh's version of Johnny Be Good. These messages are for Johnny. All right. Here we go, Johnny. Thanks for joining me today and playing along with us. Let's tell a story. The Ten of Pentacles. Woo! Wealth, financial security, family, long-term success, contribution. Congratulations. We should quit while we're ahead. All right, but we got 8 more cards to go. Sweet. Yeah, the Emperor. Guess who's in control, Johnny? Respect, leadership, stability, structure, rules and power, authority, father figure, protection, control, discipline, focus, practicality. Again, we should quit while we're ahead. This is like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Anyway, I bet we got 7 more wonderful cards to throw here. Yay, the Page of Swords, new ideas, new ways of communicating, thirst for knowledge, mental energy. Nice. There's always room to grow in the spirit world and with consciousness to expand. Next up, yay, Johnny. You should ask for a reading all the time. It's a 10 of Cups. This is the dream come true card. And you got some kind of like very satisfying domestic situation going on. You don't have to respond to that in the chat, but this is what it feels like. A happy family here, a guy in the comfy chair, and then you got the dream come true with the 10 of Cups, which also says divine love. Oh, well, it could be love with the divine world too. Harmony, blissful relationships, alignment, inner happiness, fulfillment, dreams come true, family contentment, total love and support. It reminds me of one of the themes of our conversations here at STARCARD Podcast. You know, when you have a happy inner world, you have a happy outer world. So if Johnny's as happy on the inside as he seems to be right now, I would say that's what we're all aspiring to be. We would be bowling people over with our positivity if we could all feel this wonderful. So let's all keep working on it. Yay, more people sitting on chairs. It's the Justice card, cause and effect. Again, we have the dream come true, cause and effect. You earned this dream come true. You worked at it. Then the balance is it came. Yeah, exactly. The 9 of Pentacles. You now get to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Okay. I don't know how old you are, Johnny. You seem pretty young to me, but if you were an older person like my age bracket, and you have grandchildren and they, fill your life with joy, you earned it. You worked hard at being a good parent in the first place. For example, Maybe I'm just predicting your future. Again, you could still be in college. I don't know. All right, next up. The Two of Swords says you're now at a crossroad. You got the family thing going down. You don't have all the information as you explore consciousness. Nevertheless, let's see what the last two cards have to say. The Sun card says everything's going to be okay. And that sounds like someone who's got a balanced inner world. And I like reading everything on the Sun card because it's all positive. The Sun, positivity, pleasure, happiness, vitality, fun, joy, warmth, celebration, success, rebirth, all is well. Yeah, it doesn't matter that you can't see what's coming because you don't need to be scared of anything. You've already demonstrated, what kind of power you have. You demonstrated that early on. Finally, the Knight of Cups is the knight in shining armor. And it seems to me you're the knight in shining armor in today's group of readings. And you might be the knight in shining armor for the people in your life, Johnny. Thank you very much for inviting me to read. That was a lot of fun. It was inspiring for me to meet you through the cards. Cool deal. Yeah, right on, Johnny. All right. And finally, Johanna, I'm so glad you made it. Let's get you a read also, Johanna. Oh, hi, Ginny. Well, you do what you just did. So I'm going to do Johanna, and then I'll do Ginny. But hey, everybody, I'm going to be done after Ginny, okay? Because we're already past an hour and 15 minutes. So stand by, Ginny, please. I'm going to take care of Johanna first. Also, yeah, good point. Hey, Sally Ford, thanks for that help. Ladies and gentlemen, you can also contact me. My email address is in the description, and I can do a private individual reading for you. I think I talked about it about an hour ago. All right, but this is for Johanna. Happy to throw some cards for Johanna. I'm glad she keeps coming back for helpful, fun messages here at STARCARD Podcast. The tarot world is familiar. We got messages for Johanna. Fun, helpful messages for Johanna, please. Whoa. These are for Johanna. Fun, helpful messages for Johanna, please. This is for Johanna. These cards are for Johanna. A fun, helpful message for Johanna, please. Okay. Here we go, Johanna. Let's tell a story with the tarot cards. It's the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles says manifestation, financial opportunity, skill development, ambition, desire, diligence. You still have something you always wanted to do, maybe. Right. Don't get caught up in the imagery with the Death card. This is actually a positive card here. The Death card reads endings, beginnings, change, transformation, transition, metamorphosis, end of a cycle. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. Remember that thing you always wanted to do? You could start right now. There's no time like the present. Is there something you wanted to say to somebody? As far as like building your relationship with that person somehow, there's no time like the present. Carpe diem. Next up, you're watching STARCARD Podcast. Here is the Star card. And the Star card says hope, calm, faith, purpose, renewal, spirituality, fortune, good omen, rejuvenation. I hear about the good omen and the rejuvenation. I like that card a lot. And then the Knight of Swords says, be ambitious, action-oriented, driven to succeed, fast thinking, and defend beliefs. Have hope, have faith, and have a plan. Don't go blindly charging into something. Think things out in a hopeful and positive way. Aim for, a positive ending. Yay. And then as you go forward in the Chariot, okay, you'll be in command of the two great beasts at the front of the vehicle, the two sphinxes. mean, it doesn't matter that they're of different types. You can bring them together into one motion-making machine. You're bringing things together in an energetic way, in a hopeful way. And it's going to be a lot of work, says the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles says, diligence, passion, high standards, apprenticeship, mastery, skill development, repetitive tasks. Or the story could be you're looking forward to making a trip. It's going to be a long trip, but it's going to be, it's not going to feel, it's going to feel shorter than the actual duration of the trip. But it's actually going to be, because you're going to have fun doing it. You're going to have a good time. It's going to be a fun trip. Just the destination, getting to the destination is going to be an adventure on its own. Might reveal something. Finally, Johanna, the Two of Swords, say we were talking about how you're going to be on a trip. The Two of Swords says you're coming to a crossroads. Maybe you don't know which way is which yet. You don't have all the information. Nevertheless, you're on your way home. It's the Four of Wands. It's the homecoming card. And like I say, you may not see where you're supposed to be going yet, but you're going there. You're going home. You've got the homecoming card, the family card. And you're going to get there because that's what you're hoping for in the first place. Feels like a very family-rich message. I hope it was helpful, Johanna. Thanks so much for requesting a reading. It's good to see you again. Hope you're having a good day wherever you are. And then, was that my last one? I think it was. Oh, no, I said Ginny. Okay, going to take care of, thank you very much, Jason. So, Ginny, we're going to throw one for you. Right, my friend, Psychic Liz Cross. I spent some time with her yesterday. She told me, a lot about how you go about getting your podcast going, for example. And then I'm going to take that video when I receive it from her, and then I'm going to edit some parts of it and post it on STARCARD Podcast, like I did with Psychic Liz Cross and Breakaway Ray Project Karma, one of my earliest videos at STARCARD Podcast. So anyway, this is for Ginny Duncan. Please show us fun, helpful messages for Ginny Duncan. Thank you. And thanks for all the messages today, Tarot World. You kept the crowd happy. Thank you very much. Helpful, fun messages for Ginny, please. Thank you. For Ginny. These cards are for Ginny. These cards are for Ginny. Thank you for joining us, Ginny. These cards are for Ginny. Okay. Wow, we had some remarkable throws today, and this one is for entertainment purposes also. And these are for you, Ginny. First up, it's the Ace of Pentacles. It's like God's giving you a gift. The Ace of Pentacles reads, abundance, manifestation, opportunity, new career or financial opportunity, new venture, and prosperity. Well, when I say God's giving you a gift, the universe is giving you a gift, don't forget that God is part of you, you are part of God. And that's why the word manifestation shows up. You're working together with God, with the spirit world, to bring forth joy and happiness into your life and the lives of those around you. Yay. And the Page of Cups says there's a happy surprise. So how wonderful. You're manifesting something. You're going to be finding a happy surprise. If this was Christmas Day, I'd say, go look in your stocking. You're going to like what I saw in there. Santa left you a present. All right. I was born on Christmas. I like to make Christmas jokes. Okay. Then, having said all that, I got the Eight of Cups here. And the Eight of Cups is the walk away card. But walk away for a good reason. Get away from stuff that's, not helping you out anymore. All 8 cups are there, but it just doesn't look like it's completing my worldview anymore. So I'm going to walk away, even if I try to go back to the cups and make it look right. I still have to like walk through the water and get all wet and muddy and soggy. Forget about it. I'm going to walk on over that mountain. I'm going to walk towards the sun or the moon or whatever that thing is. I'm going to go find a new path. Yeah. And then when you're on that new path, you might have to like juggle the old path at the same time. The Two of Pentacles says you have multiple priorities. Your attention may be split. For sure, if you're a parent, that's a perpetual feeling. You maybe you have your workaday world, and then you got your other job as being a parent. Just for example. All right. Speaking of family, here's the Ten of Cups, but it's also the Dreams Come True card. So, again, you're walking away from something. It's not working for you anymore. You got your severance pay. You gave you 2 weeks notice, and then your dream is going to come true because you've got divine love behind you. You're manifesting a happy surprise. And the Ten of Cups says, divine love, harmony, blissful relationships, alignment, inner happiness, fulfillment, dreams come true, family contentment, total love and support. Whatever it was you're walking away from, this is going to be way better. You may have to burn the midnight oil a little bit, but it's going to be worth it. Yeah, and the Three of Cups says you can party down. That's a celebration card. Right on, Tarot World. Cool. Let's finish up this nice message. It's the Four of Pentacles. While you're doing that, mind your nickels. Don't spend unnecessarily. I feel like I don't need to say that, but nevertheless, it doesn't hurt to say that, right? We all have to think that way. We all need to go back to, the Depression era mentality. You spend not, want not, or however it went. Okay, and then finally, the Queen of Wands encourages you to have a zest for life and go for it and enjoy every minute of it. You're leading a great adventure. The Queen of Wands says courage, confident, independence, focused, zest for life, determination, and joy. There's joy in this card. There's joy in this card. There's a happy surprise in this card. There's joy over here. Everything is going to end up positive, right? So how about that reading? Hey, you people make it easy for me. You and your positive attitudes. Make it easy for me to throw tarot cards. So, hey, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining me today. I appreciate you showing up. I hope you all have a great day. We all had a good time. Thanks to the Tarot World for all those helpful, fun messages. Okay, I will see you next time. Can't wait to read the chat. Thank you so much.